So you're probably all tired of seeing spring, 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 because you don't know I'm dying for it. But I changed it up a little bit this week, and I can't wait to show you how. And maybe, just maybe, there's something a little controversial about what I did.
So for project number one, I am taking a Shadowbox frame and going to upcycle it. And my theme, I guess, that I went with is red, white, and blue. We are prepping for America's 250th birthday and getting all of the Americana decor going. I am so excited for this. These are colors I typically don't really paint with. So this is DIY's Hey Sailor, and that is what I'm going to be using for two out of the three of my projects. I love this blue. It's so vibrant and so bright and just screams happy. This is wonderful decor for the 4th of July throughout the summer. I am really excited about these. So this piece here, I am going to be giving it two good coats, um, inside and outside on all of this. So the back of it and everything. And then we're going to let it dry thoroughly and it will get sealed up with some wax. So on this little piece here, I had painted it with some cottagecore white linen. And right now I'm just putting on some decoupage medium for a rice paper of Connie's that I'm using. And you guys, I'm going to link it below because I, for the life of me, cannot remember the name of this paper, but it is so pretty. But I really just wanted those red stripes. I actually was going to do some red ticking fabric and I can't find my tub of fabric. I have no stinking clue where it went. So I was going through my stash and I'm like, oh my gosh, Connie's birds. So that's what we're using here. I'm just going to just cut off the part that I'm using and set the other part aside. Once it is completely dried, we're going to sand off those edges, peel it off, and this baby is ready to go. And I knew exactly what I wanted to do with this, so I had to go and dig and find this other piece, and luckily I found it right away, and I knew it needed just a little bit more pop. And I'm going to give you a quick little sneak here of what it's going to look like. I love it. I'm just going to clip off the rusty stars. We are taking the rusty stars off of this garland that never sold, and we're going to repurpose those stars and just leave that garland be. I clipped off one of each size because I wasn't quite sure how they were going to work with my piece. And then I clipped off a few extras to put them in some greenery, which you'll see here in a minute. And here I am just trying to see which size looks better. And we're going to go with the small one. The big one took up too much space and didn't look right framed. So we're just going to use our Type on quick and thick to glue this up. I'm just wiping it on all of the little points of the star, and then we're going to glue this down and this put it all back together, and this project is done. Simple, easy, and it looks so stinking good. Project number two. This one is a wee bit controversial. I picked up this, in my opinion, beautiful tea kettle. It has copper on the bottom that is completely worn away. Not completely, mostly worn away. And the top half has been rewelded and it has lived a life. Let me tell you, there are dings and bangs and the handle's missing a big chunk. And I decided to paint it, y'all. Yes, I'm painting it. Ah! So, first things first, we are going to go ahead and tape off that bottom portion. I want to maintain the part that still has some of that copper on it. I want it to maintain that um that patina, that age, the life it's lived. And we're just going to paint that top half. I'm not even painting the spout. I'm not painting the handle, or the where the handle's tacked on there. I am just painting that silver part above this line of tape. And we are going to be going in with oh my gosh, I'm skipping ahead here, y'all. I'm so sorry. This is just me taping off these little the hardware part of where this is tacked on, and I didn't want to paint over those either. I wanted to leave those so that it flowed from the handle up and it didn't look awkward. So that just requires just some tape on there, and then I go in with my X-Acto knife, and because it's raised, it's really easy to follow along those lines and trim up the tape so that it fits exactly on there and that part won't get any paint on it at all. So that's a really easy way to get this done. And I'm just going to walk through this really quick here. And then it just peels right away, no problems. And excuse my stuffy, nasally voice. I have been really, really super sick. And this is the best my voice has sounded in days. So, and while we're doing this, let me go ahead and introduce myself. My name is Sandra, and I'm the owner and creator here at Midwest Charm. I specialize in repurposed, upcycled vintage home decor and all of your DIY crafty needs. We carry DIY paint, Sweet Pickins milk paint, Iron Orchid designs, Recycled Treasures, Connie lines and designs, and more. You can find us on all of the social medias and on our website, www.midwestcharm.co. All of the products used today are linked below, and those can be found on our website as well. So make sure you're hitting those links up in the description. Now we're going to go in and start our painting, and we are going in with Hey Sailor again. And this is going to get 2 good coats of this and right along that inside rim as well. You see me just going in carefully behind the handle hardware, just making sure my brush is nice and flat and going slow. But because this is water activated, it's really easy to wipe any off if you should get any onto that handle, which I didn't. It was all good, but if you do, it's super easy to wipe it back off. So next up, once this has completely dried, we're going to go in and put that second coat on. When you are painting on metals, such as this with this paint, it goes on really easy. You get great coverage. Just make sure it's completely dry before you go in with that second coat, or that second coat will pull up that bottom coat. So you just want to make sure it's very dry before you go in with that next coat. And this will need to be sealed, and we will get that sealed up here in another step. We are going to go in, I think I used liquid patina for my sealer on this, but we are going to distress it first. So once we have the second coat all the way on and it is completely dry, I'm going to go in with a baby wipe, and we are going to wipe down around the edges of any of the bigger dents and really highlight those. I want those spots to be highlighted and just to pop out a little bit more so you can really see the life that this has lived. And then a little bit around the rim, and then the edge down there where I painted, just to make it pop out just a little bit. I just wanted some of that metal to shine through, but I really wanted to accent the age of this piece. It's so pretty, and I think it's amazing. I love it, and I just think that the blue added to it just was the perfect addition, and it fits so beautifully in with the rest of my items. And this can be used for a plant. I could see some beautiful little violets or something growing in this for the summer out on your porch. It would be adorable. I might have to do that now. Um, as always, stick through to the very end, and I will show you my completed projects, and they will be all styled up and looking adorable for you all. And I do use a green plant in this, and it looks fabulous. I really love it. I could see it with some greenery and some old worn wooden spoons or mashers sticking in there too. It would look fabulous. So that is project number 2. The only thing we have left is once the sealer dries, I do go in, I pull off all that tape, I sand and wipe off any spots that may have leaked through, and this piece is ready to be shown. It turned out so pretty, and I really really think that adding that blue to it really enhanced the age and enhanced the look of this piece. You'll have to let me know if you feel the same. For project number 3, this one might be a little controversial too, but definitely less so than the first one. This one, I am taking a paint can I picked up at an antique store for like $3. We're going to go in with our cottage color in the white linen and give this 2 coats. And we are going to be decoupaging on this. And I just want to make sure that my rice paper colors absolutely pop and look stunning. And to do that, I love using that white or a light color for the background just to make sure that it's as vibrant as can be. On the part that isn't going to be getting our rice paper, it will be getting some extra paint on top of this. This has a built-in all-in-one. There's no need to seal it, but it's got that built-in sealer in there. So I could have left it, but it wasn't complete coverage. So I just decided to go in with some DIY paint. And here we are taking our liquid patina, and we are just going to go in and get this laid down exactly where I wanted it. I measured this before I started laying it down, and I did cut, if you see right above the red little stripies there, I did cut just a strip so that it could work around the handle. And that was something I thought I had gotten on video, was taping this up. I taped around the entire top rim. I taped the handle up so that it stayed in place and wouldn't shift on me. And then I taped off that bottom little rim as well. This had really great patina, and I wanted to keep that and not paint over it. So we did the same thing, like around the handle hardware that I did on the teapot, and used my X-Acto knife to cut around it. And I did go ahead and mist my rice paper so it had a little bit more mobility. And I am just going in like I normally do. And yes, I've done these campfire marshmallow tins before. I love, love, love doing them. Thank you to my dear sweet friend Connie at the Painted Photographer, who inspires me to do this one. And every time I do, I smile because I can just hear her in the background talking to me, and it just makes me smile. So I am going in with this. It can be bought, this image can be bought on Etsy, you guys. So if you want these for yourself, that's where you can find them. And I'm just going to go in and get this all glued on. Um, Using that liquid patina, we're going to get this all laid down and smoothed out as much as possible. I am not even caring if there's wrinkles. I think I got a couple around like where the hardware for the handle is, but otherwise it came out really, really nice. Then, you guys, we're just going to let this dry. And this next step, you really want it to be dry. And you can see me really working around where the handles are and around that top rim to make sure that it's completely laying down there as well. I just want to make sure that I have enough of the liquid patina around those edges so that it stays down when we go to cut this up and trim this excess off. I normally would be sanding it like I did on that little frame. However, for this project, I taped off those rims, so there's no way to really get in there with that sander without ripping up my whole label. So I'm going to use my X-Acto knife for trimming. Next up, I'm going to stipple on some White Swan in the regular DIY clay-based paint, and this color matches the paper better. As you can see, it blends right in, and the reason for stippling is because we are also going to I wanted to blend it in a little bit more, but I'm also going to be adding some texture and rust to this, and that will help catch some of those rusty little bits that we're going to be adding and just make this look nice, old, and the rusty crusty. It's what I like. So that's what we're doing here. And this actually, once this first coat of stipple dries, I do go in with a really light second coat and just do a quick swipe over that whole area to make sure it's got full coverage and we're not seeing any of that lighter white pop through or the metal pop through. And then we're going to let this completely dry. So once this has completely dried, we are going to go in with our X-Acto knife along the top edge and bottom edge and around the hardware that holds in the handle. And we are going to peel those off. The hardest part was getting that corner in between the top lip there and the handle on each side. Hardest part to do was just to make sure I was not ripping the paper. And this peeled off super easy, like you can see there. And then I just repeated the same process on the bottom part of this can. I I so love making these, you guys. I just can't tell you. This is the hardest part though, is having this beautiful piece and going in with bright orange and brown paint. So these are two colors from DIY. The brown is a layered chocolate, and the orange is, it's not Kickstarter. It is, oh my gosh, you guys. I don't know how I forget these. I will make sure it's all linked below. I feel so silly for not remembering the name of the paint. I'm like Googling, you guys. This is so terrible. Anyways, so we're going to go in and I literally am just stippling this in random places and along seams. And then we're taking that Mr. bottle and just dousing this piece down. I go in with my brush, add a little more orange, a little bit more brown, try to get the water to run a certain way using either end of the brush there. And that tends to work really, really well. And like I said, I'm just spraying the snot out of this water, you guys. I want this drippy and runny and just all the good things. And then I just add in colors where I want. And the orange is Summer Crush by DIY. And we're just gonna make this look rusty and aged and old. So I go along the top rim, the bottom rim, I add some to the front of it, I add some along the seams of our label there. And then I hit it with the heat gun to dry it up right away so that I'm not activating that paint on the back and that I'm not pulling up my label or having anything, come up on me. So we're going to hit it with that heat gun right away and dry it completely up. And then I go in and you can see I'm kind of, that part looked too stippled, um, too, I don't know how to explain it, too man-made looking. So I went in there and made it a little bit more jagged and not such a straight line. And yes, you can use your fingers, you can use a paper towel to dab up some of that excess and whatever you need to make it have the look that you want. And then I'm going to clear wax this baby and we're going to go over this whole thing with clear wax. And then I am going to go in with our DIY Decrepit Dust and a paintbrush. And for the start here, I am just going to go in and dip my brush into it. And then I just tap the brush and it kind of sprinkles it on like a splatter. And it looks so good and it looks so natural and it adds to the texture a bit. So we're going to go in and do this. I'm also going to rub it wherever there may be just a little bit too much white or it needs to have a little bit more rusty feel to it. I will do heavier little splatters of this powder, like over the MP there, where I did it on the label or down the seams. I do a little bit extra. And this is all to how you want it. If you don't want to add the orange and the brown and the rust, you don't have to. You can leave it that white and you are good to go. And you've got a beautiful, pristine campfire marshmallow tin. I happen to like it rusty and crusty. I have one sitting on top of one of my rusty scales and it looks fabulous. My husband didn't even know it was not a real campfire marshmallow tin until I told him I made it. It made me feel good. So I'm just going in and adding some more, like I said, however much you want or don't want. Then we're going to peel off all the tape, and this is so satisfying to see everything and how it all flows together and how it all looks. And then the one last little touch up that I do is I'm going to take the decrepit dust and that little brush, and along the edge, any spot that has that white still popping through, whether it's from the paper or from the paint, we're just going to cover that up with the decrepit dust. And if it doesn't stick, I just take my brush from my white wax, add a little bit more white wax to it, and then go back in with that little detail brush and the decrepit dust, and just make sure that that bright white is not bright white. We want to make sure that that all looks rusty right up onto the edge. And you know what? If it gets onto that lip of that can, even better, because then it flows even more. And I love it. Here are my final projects. I love these so much. I may have overdone the pictures. Let me know if you think I did.
What do you think? Should I or should I not have painted that poor little tea kettle? It had seen better days, beyond damaged, very little copper left on it. It just needed some love. And I think that the blue really brought out that copper and really gave it a new life. And I love, love, love my campfire tin. I always love doing those, and that one turned out so pretty. That paint can was fabulous to begin with, and I just knew I'd find something spectacular to do with that little frame. It was one of those days where I wasn't sure what I was going to do, and I went in there, and those were like the first three things I saw, and I'm like, I can do this, and I can make this red, white, and blue, and that's what I did, and I love them all so much, and I hope you do too. And thank you all for watching, and we will see you all next time. Bye.